have that August WPI inflation number. That's come in a little higher than what we were working with and a little higher than what Aditi as well was working with. Now, the number has come in at around 1.08%. We were working with a number that was little less than a percent odd. Well, Aditi, first comments on this number. We're waiting for other details and the fine print coming in as well.
So I think my first reaction would be possibly we got a higher than expected food inflation number, which has pushed up the headline to a flattish number as compared to last month, and offset the impact of lower commodity prices, etc. on minerals.
Aditi, actually, let me just fill you in on the numbers coming in. The food articles inflation number is at 7.67% versus 6.15% in July. Primary articles inflation has come in at 6.43% versus 5.03% in July. Manufactured products inflation is flat compared to 0.34% rise in July. Fuel and power inflation is -4% compared to -3.64% in July. So these are some of the details coming in. The primary articles index is up 1.3% on month, and the all commodities index is up 0.2% on month. The manufactured products index is down 0.3% on month. So, Aditi, does that help you?
Yes, it does. It's exactly what I expected. We had penciled in food inflation at around 6.6%. So what you just mentioned is more than 1 percentage point higher than that. So that is the reason that the headline number is flat over last month. And in fact, the core inflation is definitely going to be negative because we were looking at the overall manufactured basket, the inflation being around 0.2%. So if you're saying that that's flat, that means we're definitely going to get a negative number on the core WPI inflation.
Okay, all right. Aditi, we're getting a few more details. I think the vegetable index, that's up close to around 2.6% on month. And the food articles index, that is up close to around 1.4% odd. So I think safe to say that the inflation, WPI inflation number is a little higher than what we are working with. On a month-on-month basis, it's more or less flattish. The primary articles inflation, that's coming at around 6.4%. That compares with the lower reading in the previous month. But the manufactured products inflation, that's flat in comparison to around 0.3% that we saw in the in the previous month. Well, Aditi, final comments then before we wind up this discussion?
So I think broadly it is going to be a situation where we're going to look at the impact of commodities and the landed price of imported goods and the exchange rates, which are really going to be driving the core as well as the minerals indices going forward. Pricing power is weak and it's likely to remain weak for some more months at least. So we are likely to see very, very low core inflation numbers on the WPI, and that's going to continue to pull down the headline. So then it's really going to be, how much volatility do food prices bring into the WPI. As far as the MPC is concerned, I think this only reinforces that there is likely to be a rate cut in October. The question is really only what is going to be the magnitude of the rate cut this time. And is it going to be a conventional 25 bips rate cut or an unconventional rate cut of a slightly higher magnitude than that? I think that's really what we need to assess. But I would say that likelihood of a rate cut is almost certain.
Okay, all right. So we'll wait by then for that rate cut in the coming RBI policy. Well, thanks so much, Aditi, for joining in and filling us in with all those details. Well, in terms of the markets, we are more or less steady. I think there's one stock, Adani Green.